Let's go over file management. Here you have the desktop of my laptop. A couple of ways we can look at files. Let's first look at your drives. I'm clicking my computer. I do have Windows XP here. So Windows Vista would look a little different. Please refer to page 29 to observe the differences. And then XP, they call it my computer. In Vista, they call it just plain computer. If you have a flash drive connected to your computer, you will notice that it will be in the section where you have removable storage, and yours may be different than mine. And if I added another flash drive, it would then assign the next available letter of the alphabet. Some of the letters are reserved. As you can see, my hard drive is actually partitioned into two hard drives. I have a C and a D. Just depends on the type of computer that you have. I can always double click on my flash drive, and that will pull open the files and folders. Now I want to encourage you to use files and folders. File management is very critical for keeping up with your work, and you always want to name your files with a descriptive label. I'm going to close my computer and go into my documents and give you some idea how I have folders structured on my computer. You can see they are listed first with numbers and then alphabetically through the alphabet, and then following the folders, which look like little manila folders, I have individual files. Now I'm looking at my documents in a details view. Notice on the toolbar you have different buttons, and you will want to review those buttons and their actual performance or task for my documents or documents. A couple of things to share with you here. If I'm in this view and I can actually see these headers at the top of the table, I can click those to change the order or sort order of the information. Now they're sorted Z to A with the files at the top and the folders below. I can also sort by date, so if I wanted to know or I had some idea I created a folder or file within the last 2 weeks, I could click the date. Now here they're arranged from the oldest to the newest. I'm going to click it again, and you can see then here are the more current ones at the top. Also, you get the time with it, and you get the type of file that it is associated with the file or folder. To change views, as I was mentioning, oftentimes you may come in and you'll have tiles. You may have icons. You may have a list, which is somewhat like the details view. I'm going to return to that and sort mine back in the correct order so that you can see. And you do have a scroll bar to move up and down in the screen. I want to go into my Basic PC Literacy folder for this semester. You can see I have one labeled here. And I have several folders within this folder, so it's nested. It's a hierarchy, one's inside the other. How do I know? I can also look at the address bar at the top of my screen. So I have an area called Documents and Setting. This is the manufacturer of my laptop. Here's my documents, and here's the folder we're looking at. And then we have all these other individual folders. It's very easy to create a folder. You can go to the File menu, click New. I'm going to create one called Practice. And once you create the new folder, you're in an edit mode to add the label. Now you don't have to back out the text that's there. It's blue. You just start typing. You will either press your enter key or click outside of the folder to accept the label. And that folder is ready for me to use. I'm going to double click it to open it, and notice it's empty. If I want to return to the level that I was at, I could use the back button, but also the up level takes me to a higher folder level. And now you can see that folder has actually been alphabetized in that action. Let me move some folders in here. You can easily do that by clicking drag. So I'll point, select with my left mouse button, then I'll press the left mouse button down. Actually, I'm making a copy, I guess, right now because I released my mouse button. No, it moved it. Okay. And then if I want to move this one, it's a drop and drag. Go up to the right one. What if I made a mistake? Oops. We love undo. Here it is on the edit mode. Okay, test results come back. Anytime I have a file, I want to rename the file, I can select it and then right click and rename. And I'm in that edit mode. I'll press enter to select it. Another way to do that is to left click and then left click again. Okay, and it puts it in that edit mode. So a right click or two single left clicks with us. Okay, we're going to cut, and then I'm going to go up a level, and let me move that to another folder. Let's go to this folder, and I'm going to paste. Okay. Very easily done. Now you can see I've moved that to a different folder. Another way I could do that, I'm going to go into the Windows Explorer view by clicking the folder button. Then that shows now a drop-down pane to the left. Any folder that has a plus sign by it means there's additional files and folders within the folder itself. So I'll click the plus sign, or I could double click the name here. I think that'll expand. It might be a single click. And you can see even within here I have subfolders that have pluses. So that's a way to open the folder. Notice the content pane to the right over here is still showing the CIS 110. It's not showing the 111 folder. So I can have different views on one side of the pane and on the other side. Let me go back here to my little play folder, and you can tell now the contents of this folder is displayed, and you see the little folder icons are the exact same folder icons that are in the folders pane or the Windows Explorer pane. And I wish they hadn't called it Windows Explorer because that sounds too much like Internet Explorer. Let me choose this file, and if I want to move it, I can click and drag and put it in the 110 folder for fall 2010. When I release, that folder has been moved. Now I'm going to undo and bring it back, and I could right click and do a cut, and I could come to that folder. This is a little slower. I just clicked it once. I can right click and click paste. And you can delete files. If I want to delete a file, I'll choose the file or the folder, and you have a delete button on your toolbar, or you could right click again and that would remove it. Just be sure, let me warn everyone, if you delete files from your flash drive, you cannot retrieve them from the recycle bin. This particular file I'm getting ready to delete is from my hard drive, the C drive, so if I change my mind before I empty out the recycle bin, I can retrieve it and put it back in its original location. But a flash drive, oh no, once it's gone, it is gone. And that gives you a little quick review of file and folder management. I want to encourage you to always use folders when you have multiple items that are related together. Every course you have that you create files for, you should have a folder with that course name so that you can find them very easily.